Khe Sanh, during Tet, part of Tet was big organized NVA, VC. They attacked a lot of outposts and a lot of cities, and there was a Marine outpost in a valley called Khe Sanh. There was a little village there, and they had a base there, a Marine base. They got surrounded by NVA soldiers from North Vietnam, and they were there trapped quite a while. It hardly get supplies. The planes had to drop parachute supplies into them. They were just getting pounded by artillery and rockets and mortars. So Westmoreland made the plan. They'd take the first cav, and being Khe Sanh was in a village or in a valley, it would take us and put us on all the hills, different companies on the hills, and then we would work our way down towards Khe Sanh, and through a series of, we do ambushes and just, search and seizures and, go find them and push them and trying to get relief from Khe Sanh. So we did this for, 2 or 3 weeks, and finally worked our way right down to Khe Sanh, kind of liberated them. Got to talk to the Marines, and they were really glad to see us, and we had a meal with them or something, and actually got another couple rocket strikes on us. But so our captain said, we're going back up in the jungle, we're getting out of here. But anyway, we cleared the whole place out, and so that was liberated. And I don't know, it was probably a month or 2 later, they just abandoned it anyway. That's what they did, just gave it back to them, basically. There's a lot of that went on. You take a hill or you take an area, you take it, and then they leave, and they take it back. Silly.
Didn't the Marines get pinned down in Khe Sanh?
What?
Didn't the Marines get pinned down in Khe Sanh?
Yeah, they were pinned down because you couldn't get in and out by roads or anything, and supplies, they just had to parachute supplies in. And when we got there, they used to try to land a few big C-130s, they're cargo planes, and there was 2 or 3 of them, that were at the end of the runway shot up, and some Marine helicopters, and they just couldn't get out, couldn't get in and out. Several times when we first took those hills, one hill, we were dug in, and we came under heavy rocket fire, but we had foxholes, and we actually had sandbags. We dug in there pretty good, and then they had some artillery that hit a couple of our bunkers, and we got some guys wounded, and we got some guys really messed up from that. And then, then we were running a series of ambushes. We would, at night, there was trails all over up there, and then they were resupplying themselves and going back and forth. They kind of own that whole area. Yeah. So we set up ambushes for them, so basically we were doing most of the shooting, at that point, but they were still shelling the hell out of Khe Sanh. They were throwing everything at Khe Sanh, mortars, rockets, even artillery from Laos. They just were beating them up because they were right in the open. They didn't know where we were. We were hiding in the jungle, So